mean, normally when I fire these things up, man, I want to yell, "We are live," but we're doing things a little bit differently here for the Senex short track boys. I could have got them in on Mondays, but the other night they couldn't find a broadcaster, so we figured, hey, we'll do the replays. We'll click them both off at once. So the reason I want to address that right away is my habit as a broadcaster, after we look at some of these cautions, I want to click that go live button. And I guarantee you, I will do that here. And I messed with my mic sound. Sorry if I was a little too loud there. I cut out. I'm going to have to adjust my settings here. But, yeah, like I say, that is going to be the thing here. So I did invite the guys. They finished in the top 3. They obviously know. I truly don't. I'm not going to cheat and look ahead. I mean, I will get a list of how many cautions occurred. That kind of just pops up when I load up the replay. So not really cheating there. But I can tell you this is going to be a good one. We'll give you a little bit of a hint there. Cautions-wise, anyway, it's going to be a good one. Don't know about the finish. But, man, I expect a good one here. The dirt track at Charlotte, this is the Mecca, man. We close down dirt racing here pretty much for the year almost every year. We get Super Dirt Week down here. And it is a good one. I mean, good sprint car shows, good late model shows. Let's see who we've got out here. Now, this is going to be a bit of a learning curve for me, too, looking at all these interviews. So, I think I'm actually in a fantasy baseball league with a guy named Dave Brill. I seriously doubt it's the same person. But Dave, if you're from Gettysburg, it is a small world. It's David Brill right now here. Lap 2 going to work, or lap 20, excuse me, going to work that outside. No, this is lap 2. We're in a 20.77 the first time by. Keith Kincaid was at the top, but not for long. Brill took it real quick, then lost it. And Keith right back to the top in that 17 machine. Good looking ride, that 17. I'm going to have to get used to these guys, too, a little bit. Their paint jobs, it'll take me about a week or so. Michael Lemanchik, that's how we're going to go with that. If you might have to just call him the man. The man there in the 27. Michael Lemanchik. P2 at the moment. Chris Farmer coming across the line. P4. Bob Belshaw parking that 44 P6. Mike Lemieux coming across the line here for his first lap, or excuse me, coming down the backstretch. So that'll be his first lap here for Mike. Time did he put in? 1952. Now, you see that checkered flag was waving. I don't think that was for him. That's going to be one of the things we just kind of have to get used to with the replay. So that slap does count for Mike. Going to come home P8 right now. I'm not sure. I don't think this lap's going to count. We only get 2. Yeah, he's just going to drive around hard, kind of test this thing out, see how close he can get to the wall without it tighten up and shooting through the barricade. Excuse me, is Benjamin Gunther or Gunter maybe. I think it's probably Tur. If he lives in the United States, they might have third it. But if you go back to its roots, it's probably Tur. But we'll let him decide for us as we talk through the boys coming out through the season. Now, this is another thing too. So obviously, pull up the time here. It should give us a little bit. So all the guys have put in their qualifying efforts here. This is where we'll cheat a little bit. We'll fast forward. Okay, never mind. They advanced. No reason to cheat here. But now I did warn them, okay? So SDK, my software, absolutely love it. They do a wonderful job on their overlays. Absolutely love it. Customize them, customize colors. Am I smart enough to do it? Not necessarily. But definitely a lot of options. But I got an update this morning at 11:15 a.m. when I was making sure all this stuff was good to go. And now for your replay heat races, they haven't gotten back to me yet. But you're seeing all 13 guys show up there. That's not correct. We're going to have a 7 and a 6. I think, like I say, this is a replay. I already was trying to mess around with this heat. Only 6 guys grid up for this one. Spoiler alert. Whoever's lined up P7 doesn't line up. So you're just going to have to, in the heats this week, hopefully they reach back out to the end. They come up with a line of code that pulls that stuff away here for the replays. But as of now, going to have to deal with them in these first 2 heat races. And I didn't check the asphalt side that we're going to next. But SDK, man, they're kind of asphalt guys. The dirt, which personally is my favorite. You guys will learn that as we go on. I'm a big dirt guy, being from South Central PA. I'm really close to Lincoln Speedway and Williams Grove, so I grew up with this stuff. I absolutely love it. And but it's kind of on the back burner for the Europeans. You know, they're not real big into the dirt racing like we are. So that's definitely not a prime focus. Should be a 10-lap shootout. Like I say, not sure who that extra was supposed to be, but they don't grid up here, so we'll fast forward this just a little bit. Well, of course, every time I say I'll click fast forward, maybe that'll work here tonight. You know, that'll be when the session advances, or whenever the pace car decides to move. And then I say here tonight, I'm not used to doing these in the afternoon. You know, this is probably my earliest one I've done. I guess about a year ago, I did a road series for some guys in Europe. We were doing that, I think, at 10 in the morning. That was fun. Enjoyed that. We'll see it. We'll have to see if the meat manager at Kenny's Markets, you know, I'm gonna assume that's Dave. Okay, Dave doesn't have it filled out, so we can just go under the assumption that he's the same man I know, same town, in this giant world, even though that man has never mentioned to me. You know, he likes racing at all, or has a sim rig, and he knows how much I like it. But just assume they're the same here as we get ready to go play. Heat race number 1 about to be underway. 10 laps here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Chris Reinold's going to drop the hammer. We're underway. Heat race number 1. Reinold gets a good jump there through the center of the corner, but they're 3 wide right behind Keith Kincaid trying to thread the needle, but there's a little contact. That's going to put Brill up in the outside wall. He's stuck up there. Going to lose lots of spots. Meanwhile, as the front 3 dice it up here, Reinold started on the pole. Going to fall back, though, here. Keith Kincaid now up to P2. We'll bring this overlay back up. My apologies. I didn't even see it disappear on me. Just click something there on my Steam Deck as Scott Tice leads the way. He is absolutely gone. 14.93 for him the last time by. Keith Kincaid now finally getting back in the area code here of 14.85. As we roll off of turn 2, Kincaid using up every inch here of this racetrack, trying to reel in the 24 of Scott Tice. 6 laps to go. Let's find another battle going on. We may not have one. Guys really spread out. You see Dave kind of pulled it there in the pits. We are pretty spread out here. So let's watch him roll through 2. We're going to post up here on the entrance of turn 3. Let's see the gaps. The leader, 2nd, 3rd. 4th and 5th battle maybe starting to heat up a little bit as Mike Lemieux's been able to reel in Cassidy. Here as you see Bob pushing there off of 4. Just trying to find some grip in that thing as 3 laps to go for your leader. Keith Kincaid trying to work that 17 downstairs low, trying to find some moisture down there, but he's pushing up off corner exit. You can see he gets in the wall, busts the nose off the front of that with 2 to play. Keith Kincaid going to have to climb his way up the ladder here once we go feature racing. Going to lose 1, going to lose 2 more as Keith pulls in the pits. Play. My computer does not like my new Yeti mic that I got at Clips a Lot. Checkered flag waves, and Scott Tice gets it done. I'm still playing with a good input gain volume. It seems a little ridiculous, but I got to kind of turn myself down into the 30s and crank myself up on the other side if I don't want it to clip out. But it's going to be Tice, Reinhold, Lemieux, Cassidy, Kincaid, and Brill rounding out heat race number 1. And we're going to go play here heat race number 2. This is where, we don't get any help with a driving order. So my apologies. I love reading off the lineups, making myself yell and get loud, but I'm not going to be able to pull up those lineups here. Just the way the try it. I'm afraid though. Yeah, see, it's going to pull up the whole field. Not going to work. But we'll have it. We'll have it for the features. Now that they're moving, we can kind of read it off to you. So starting on the pole there, Quinn McLean in the 21. Call him Blackjack tonight. To the top shelf, the 44 of Bob Belshaw. Chris Farmer lines up on the inside of row 2 in the 54 machine. Looks like the 31. We got him in the 54. Michael Mansion to the outside in the 27. Ed Papineau lines the 01 on the inside of low 3 into the top shelf. The double nickel. Benjamin. Here we go. Here we go. Quinn, man, that's another one. I respect the nice looking rods. Back in the day, I used to try to paint my own, and it's not easy to do. That 21, good looking paint. We get ready to drop the hammer. We're underway. Ooh, might be a back there on the top shelf. I won't know. I don't know if they maybe clear that or not, but it looks like he definitely beat the leader to the line. That's a big no-no. 21 works the inside here. The 44 trying to maybe straighten it up here to the outside wall. He's got enough to hold it on. The 21 going to send it in. He tightens up on the nose. Now, see Chris Farmer milking that cow on the bottom here. The 31 up to the lead. As you see the laps kind of update here, should be 8 to go. It should, take care of itself here in a second. But like I say, this new software update does not like these replay heat races, because now we'll get the real 7 to go. It updates itself. Oh, as the 55 Benjamin Gunther gets a little loose, he tightens up after trying to catch it. You see the spoiler flare off there. Oh, not what he's going to want here is Chris Farmer rolling around already, getting into lap traffic. The 21 got to watch out here. Oh, it's Quinn McLean. He just fits on through, but now he may lose P2 here to the 44 of Bob Belshaw. All this, and we're only halfway here in heat race number 2. Farmer rolling through 4. Let's watch him come to the line here. You see that battle for second. It's on. Big gaps there to the rest of the boys. You see there on the leaderboard, 9.5 seconds, almost 13 back to P5 as Belshaw moves that 44 on up into P2. 3 laps to play, but you just got to think not enough time here. The Farmer, he is absolutely gone, plowing through the field here as he rolls through 3 3 and 4, 2 laps to go. Farmer coming up on lap traffic here, just going to hop up out of the way, though. Coming back for a little piece of P2 here, but we're running out of time as we roll through 3 and 4. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. This is your closest battle on the racetrack. Can McLean find a way around? Just doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get there. Too far back as Chris Farmer wins heat race number 2, followed by Bob Belshaw, Quinn McLean, Michael Lemanchik, Ed Papineau, and Benjamin Gunther. This is where normally I do my, hey, we'll be right back spiel. But, you know, this is replayed here, only a 2-minute warm-up. So I am going to let this play for just a second while I keep talking to you guys, and you'll probably hear it in the background, slowly adjusting my mic volume. Got so many stream things open, but yes, Dale, I just saw that message. You are famous now. You've made it. We're the big time now. I assume I do know 2 of the top 3 finishers because I'm not going to spoil it for you. We are going to have 2 interviews so far, it looks like, because we do have 2 drivers sitting in there. Interesting to see who does bring it home, who cleans it up here. While we have time, let's do a lap here with the dog out front. We're at the top of the charts here. Scott Tice. We'll see how he's wheeling this 24 around this place. You can see, man, the sun going down, so dust won't be as big of a factor. And really, I mean, not a huge car count, so the dust wouldn't have been killer anyway. But when the sun goes down, that does help because you can see that cloud come up. I'm telling you, when the sun's shining in that stuff, you get a mirror full of that. It is, or I mean, a windshield full of that. It ain't easy to work on through that and try to manipulate your way up through. But let's go ahead here. Now this is where I should be able to do my normal dance here that I like to do. Let's go down. There we go. All right, man, let's do it. Starting lineup here for your 30-lap feature. Little late model action here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Rounding out the field, lucky number 13 in the 1, Joe Canellis. Row 6 to the top shelf, Benjamin Gunther. To the inside, the 68 of Bob Cassidy. Row 5 to the top shelf, the 01 of Ed Papineau. To the inside, the 40 of Mike Lemieux. Row 4 to the outside, Blackjack Quinn McLean. To the inside, the 71 of Chris Reinhold. Row 3 to the outside, the 44 of Bob Belshaw. To the inside, the 88 of Dave Brill. Row 2 to the outside, the Farmer in the 54, Chris Farmer. To the inside, the 24, Scott Tice. Row 1 for your 30-lap main event here at the dirt track at Charlotte. To the outside, the 27 of Michael Lemanchik. And starting on the pole, the 17 of Keith Kincaid. Now, we just hope, though, there we go. Okay, I didn't want to jinx myself, but there was a small part of me that worried that was going to load back up correctly, but hey, there we go. And once again, there is a small part. I'm just honest. This is the first week, I'm kind of working out the kinks, so there's a chance here when we go to this asphalt race that I do drop you guys into a little bit longer of a race. Now with this software update, I have to open up a live iRacing session first, then open up the replay file. So it'll extend that gap or that break time just a little bit. It'll be all good, allow for a better show here. That's what we want. We're about to get it here. You see the green flag high, and boy, is she ready to fly. 30 laps to play in the clay at the dirt track in Charlotte. We're underway. Oh, a little contact here early. You see that 24 of Tice, man. He was quick, but now he's going to have to work that thing on up through the field. Scott Tice all the way back to P8 here as Quinn McLean got that blackjack machine rolling on the top shelf. Bob Belshaw working the basement here, running P2. We got 3 lines for your 3 different leaders here. 71 working the middle of Reinhold, but he gets the nose chopped off. He gets pinched. That allows Keith Kincaid to go from 4th to 2nd here. Big time move for the 17 of Keith Kincaid. Here comes Tice back on the bottom here, working that 24. Gonna pinch it to the inside here. 3 wide, 2 for 1, special through 3, make it 3. You buy 2, you get 1 free. Going from 5th to 2nd, Scott Tice with a big boy move. Plenty of time here as we're only on lap 4, man. You don't have to show it all yet, but don't tell Keith that. Or, I mean, Scott Tice that. Here he comes. There are 3 almost 4 wide here as we cross the line. The farmer involved. You can see a little bit of damage on the nose of that 31 machine. Lots of contact for him. Like he's been driving it through the fields, man. You just can't take the farmer out of that guy. Rough ride here. As you see the 88 of Dave Brill trying to work the inside blackjack. Quinn McLean, he's trying to recover here. I mean, he's gotten 1 back so far, but it was a rough start after the contact in front of him. Now Keith Kincaid up to a 2nd lead here. Over the nemesis, Scott Tice. I don't even know if that's true. You know, we just got to make storyline. You got 2 fast guys, you got to pit them against each other. That's what we're going for. Scott Tice, can he run him down? You're watching that leaderboard. Okay, it was 1.5 when they went in. 1.15, we're going to say at the line. I mean, he got him a 10, 3, and 4. Not what you want to see. You're Tice. You get a lot back on the entry to 1. You're just not getting that grip off. And now he's going to find some here in 3 and 4. Going to cut the lead down a 10th.5. So you're going to give up a 10th.5. Going to get 3 back. Total of a gain and a half. I mean, that's a good run here so far for the 24. Can he get close to the deck lid? As we watch the battle for the final podium spot, Michael Lemanchik, he's got a little damage on that left front. Whoa, gonna have a little more contact. Gets into the outside wall. Didn't come to a stop here, missing the right front. What's gonna happen? I'll tell you, I told you I thought we get I didn't want to spoil it. Yeah, we're not gonna get a caution here. That may have spoiled it a little bit, but no caution flag. So, man, that is a tough one. You'd like to see caution come out there. Maybe get a chance to quick repair that thing, but too much damage. Couldn't pull it to the inside and couldn't get the caution. Slap up here in turn 3. There's your leader. There's Tice. Gonna be a little bit here. There's Brill coming in the picture. He's got the farmer right in his pocket. Can Michael Farmer find a way to pick up the final podium spot? Go on this nose here. I think I have a nose camera, unless these are the limited late models. Okay, good. Perfect. You can see, I mean, he's gnawing at it. Might have to call him the Beaver here. That was a big gap. Gnawing at this gap, and now this lap car ain't going to do Brill any favors, but maybe scared Farmer a little bit. As you can see, he lost a lot of space there. Maybe planned for some contact. Now we go up to Scott Tice, and see he's cut the lead down to about half a second. Scott Tice, welcome to the party. Rough opening lap for Tice. Started 3rd, I believe. got roughed up to the outside, lost a bunch of spots, and while Keith kind of had the exact opposite. Great start to the race here for the 17. Tice, we're 3 wide. It's getting tight through 3 and 4. Robbins racing as we touch doors. Tice with a little bit of a slide job through 1. Can Kincaid answer the door here? He's going to come back with a little slide job of his own. Going to park it on the nose. Tice counters back, give it to Kincaid at the line. 11 laps to go here. Plenty of time for a fireworks show. Keith Kincaid with a little crossover. Do-si-do cuts a rug back underneath. Can he cross up over? The answer is yes. And now Tice, man, he's got to put his head down. He's got to go back to work. Oh, we got a problem here in front of the leaders. This could be trouble. 44 with a lot of nose damage here. Not too sure if maybe Tice once again had a case of yips like the farmer did. You see a slow car in front of you. I mean, we didn't see a mistake to lose a second, and he was right there on the back of Kincaid. Maybe panicked a little bit, wanted to live the race another day, and now he's got to saw right back into that gap here. So have to see what go on board here. Let's watch him. I mean, 7 laps to go. Seems like a bunch of time. No way. I mean, we're doing lap times here. 15 seconds. So, I mean, a couple minutes left to play. One mistake that could write you off. And Scott Tice knows it. He's trying to be smooth here, but he's gotta find a way to inch in a little closer here. You see, I mean, everyone's a lap down but the top 4, so there's still a battle for that final podium spot. If Farmer could get to the back of Brill here, but Brill's kind of extended that gap. He's got it to over a second. Kincaid working the outside here through 3 and 4 as we come to the line. 4 laps to go. Scott Tice, he's been closer. He needs this momentum here. He needs a good slide up the track. Catch the right rear on the cushion. He does. Gains about a 10th here through 3 and 4. He's going to be there. If he keeps up this pace, he is going to be right there here. As we come to close this thing out, 2 sticks in the air, 2 laps to go. Here comes Kincaid. He's got a mirror full. What can he do? He's going to see him taking a peek down low as the white flag displayed. 1 lap to go. Did Tice maybe show his nose too early? Does Kincaid protect here as we go down the backstretch for the final time? He's going to stay high. He leaves the lane open. We're coming to the stripe. Big move from Tice. Can he get it to hook up? No! Kincaid rings the bell up top. He brings home your feature win here at the dirt track in Charlotte, followed by Scott Tice, Dave Brill, Chris Farmer, Bob Belshaw rounds out the top 5. And, well, this is another thing, I'm going to be honest, I did not play with yet. But with the replay, I would not see why this wouldn't work. There we go. Bring up that final order. Michael Muse, 6th. Rob Cassidy, 7th. Quinn McLean, 8th. Chris Reinold, 9th. Michael Lemanchik rounding out the top 10. Benjamin Gunther and Ed Popino round out the field. And I just realized, so maybe Joe Cannell is admin. There's a chance of that. And he's just going to show up on the replays. So my fault, Joe. If you weren't in this, I'll learn. Going to work here one day, you'd think. So let's see this out here. We'll try to see. I can't remember the guys by name just yet who showed up. We'll try to bring them up here. Actually, I may have spoiled, he may be one in the other one here. hanging out. But no, we just looking like we just have our winner here from this race. But I mean, no shot at the other guys. I think this is if you're gonna get anybody to show up, this is the man you want. And now we get to hear him talk about it. We're gonna throw him up here on the spot. He didn't know I was pulling him up right now, so he may not even be here. But Keith, man, hey, you got a copy?
Hey, Shaggy, I got you.
I'll tell you what, dude, that was fun to go back and watch. And you and Tice, man,
Man,
back and forth, dude. How much fun is that to do in these late models out here?
man, we had a great race. He was putting the pressure on me. Finally got that high side to work, had to dig off the corner, and just lucky to bring it home in position one.
Yeah, I'd kind of talked about that in the intro. Not a lot of guys here, so the track's not going to widen out too fast, and it did. It took a while to get that high side developed. I mean, was that you and the boys just kind of plugging away at it in warm ups? Because I mean, when we went to go into that feature, it didn't look like it was going to be that polite to the guys up there. But man, you found a way to make it work.
Yeah, well, we had some long runs in practice, and I noticed the top started working then, and car felt good, and felt like I could had them covered up top. So as we ran, the track just came to me, and sometimes you have nights like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, Keith, as we go through this season more, I'll get to know you guys a little bit better. But if you don't mind me asking, man, where are you from?
I'm just below Nashville, Tennessee, and Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Oh, heck yeah, man. That's a heck yeah, dude. I love it down there in Tennessee. It's really nice. But
Yeah, great
Keith,
area. I think everybody keeps moving here because they like it.
yeah, that state tax is nice too. Uh,
It is.
Keith, so if you had to pick one, what's your favorite thing to play around with in the dirt out here? Do you like the late models the most?
I do. I like the late models. I've ran a little bit of the sprint cars, the 360 sprints, a lot of fun, but I just come back to the late model.
Yeah, man, it's just that I think you get to let these things eat. You get to rub a little bit, I mean, you and Scott showed that, and there's nothing wrong with using it a little bit as long as you respect that guy beside you. And man, hey, I don't know how week one went 2 weeks ago. I didn't get to see that, but hey, first one for me. You're bringing home the W to me. That's all that counts. Hell of a run, brother. Who you want to thank?
Appreciate it. Yeah, I guess Mastercard, Visa, and my wife.
Okay, cool deal. Well, hey Keith, I'll send you back down there, man. I don't know how well you did in the asphalt, so don't spoil it for me. But hopefully I'm talking to you again.
All right, appreciate it, Shaggy. Thank you.
And now I just noticed. So Scott, he wasn't in here, but now he is in here. Hey man, you're good to unmute yourself if you want to. And dude, we'll throw this on you. I'm glad you showed up. I normally would have done you first. I like to do the leader last, but I'll tell you, you and him, you heard me probably talk to him, dude. You guys were the show there for about 10 or 15 laps, and it seemed like maybe if you could go back and do it over again, you maybe got a little cautious when you guys came up on that lap car with about 8 to go, because it seemed like you just lifted out of the throttle and you just couldn't make the gap back up. I mean, you were right there at the end, but just 1 or 2 laps short. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I just kind of got spooked there, I guess. But Keith, didn't mess up, and I needed him to mess up a little bit, and me not to mess up, and that's what I was trying not to do when the car got between us there, and it cost me, but had a great race. These guys are awesome. Keith, like I said, he was just didn't make any errors, and that's what I needed.
Yeah, man, because not we all know Scott or Scott racing's full of mistakes, and I'll tell you, if you watch me race, I am full of them. So this is no shot at you, but man, after that mistake on the opening lap, you kind of bunch yourself back there. Did you think you'd be able to climb through the field? Did you know you were going to be this fast? I mean, you were obviously quick in qualifying, quick on the warm up chart, but going out there and passing guys, that's a different story. Did you know you? I mean, I saw you get 3 guys and one set of corner. I didn't even know if you knew you did that. You picked up 3 there through 3 and 4. I mean, you had some speed, but did you know you were going to be able to do it?
I didn't. We inverted the top six, and when I seen Keith, go down to the bottom, I'm like, I'm gonna go that way, and I knew that it was pretty quick. I like Charlotte, and I was hoping to make a show of it. We did, but uh, it was just had a really good time with these guys.
Yeah, man. And at the end of the day, dude, that is what this is all about. You could
Right.
run any official races you wanted to, join anything you want to, but when you get a good group of guys, man, that'll run 30 laps green flag, and you can touch each other a little bit, man. That makes it a little more fun. And you guys put on a hell of a show. So congratulations on the P2, Scott. You got anybody you want to thank?
Man, I'm gonna steal what Keith said. My wife puts up with a lot. I work on the pipeline, and when I come home, this takes a little bit of time away from her. So I appreciate her putting up with my shenanigans, and appreciate all the guys letting us race, and you guys for doing what you do.
Amen, man. Behind every good iRacer, there's a better woman. So we got to thank them
Absolutely.
every time. Hell of a run, Scott, and hopefully I'm talking to you again soon, brother.
Thank you, man.
Scott Tice bringing home P2. I'm glad he showed up because I love talking to these guys. And dang it. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to slip a couple of those too. Dang it. I meant to ask Scott where he was from. I will get that from him later. I like to know a little bit about these guys, but you can hear that. I think he's down south, and that sounded like a little bit of a southern accent. I liked it. I wish I could incorporate that, but sadly, I'm a Yankee. Not going to get any of those nice sounding things out of me. But hey, we're going to step away here. I'll bring up that intermission screen. So this is where, could be 5. Hopefully it's not much longer than that. And you know what? I'm actually not going to bring up an intermission screen. You guys can yell at me. I won't ever put this in again if you don't want it to, but I'm a big advocate of, helping the veterans and stuff and their mental awareness. So we're going to kind of run a Mission 22 video here in between. And like I say, if you guys aren't a big fan of it, send me a message privately. You don't have to out yourself on the broadcast. I won't do it again, but it's a long, free intermission video, and it's better than just listening to those dang race car sounds. We'll be right back here with a little bit of asphalt. Stick around.
I'm Chris Jakomick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important, but I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like,
So my apologies. I don't know if
you look at all
the
everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text actually from my stepmom. I was like, you need to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day, 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see this, what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, as let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. Is I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. Physically, I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it got transformed into Lo and Behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service. But at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this, because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home. That's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody! I am so excited. My heart's pumping, my hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir. Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña. Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza. From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio. From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy. Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle. And coming up next, former pole vaulter, that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jack Jackamek. Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things. Coming to you from St. Henry.
Wow.
Missouri.
We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're going to take care of each other. We've got each other. And it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's going to help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's going to save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
Man, I should have known better than to play that video. I'm a gosh dang crier. That thing gets me every time. It will hit me every freaking week. But definitely charity, and one that I have broadcasted for a lot. So definitely got to get that. Want to get that number down to 0. That would be awesome. We're gonna get ready to go qualifying here soon. I think I got us near. You'll see that it says 45 minutes. That's not right. Not gonna update here until we go out here to qualifying, but you should see that checkered flag wave here soon, I think. If not, I'll I'll mention the dreaded fast forward button. Should get ready to wave, but man, that was a good one. Great opening start to that thing, and of course, for some reason, we're not even going to get the lap times. So let's cheat here. Let's show you. Let's cheat. Practice times. Keith Kincaid, Ed Papineau, Michael Lemieux, Bob Belshaw, Glenn Staley. Your top 5. Oh, no. I didn't look at it. Now, I'm being honest. If you cheated and looked at it, that's on you. But the grid was there. You know, I'm telling you, I didn't notice it. Too many other things, and I got a big boom mic on that side of the screen. So it is going to be a surprise for me. And there is the checkered flag. No one guy, though, who is hanging out. Because, like I say, I thought he was maybe here for the dirt side of things. Not on the dirt side of things. My apologies. Just saw the man over there at MRL. Kyle sent me a message as we get ready to go into qualifying. And, you know, I'm not even sure the Senex guys know this because I didn't mention to them that I knew Kyle. But Kyle is awesome, man. He has done so many things for me, opened the door for me to a couple people, created my wonderful logo that is in the top left, because we'll just say my other one maybe wasn't the most professional. We could say that. And now that we have USA International Speedway type team, the grid doesn't like that. I was wondering why it looked so weird. So we're gonna cut down international. You know, I think we all know an abbreviation. So we're gonna do that here. Ridiculous gray on the side. There we go. Looks much better. Now we're gonna start seeing laps come in. Chris Reinold right now at the top of the charts by half a tenth of a second. Doesn't seem like a lot. Asphalt racing, you know, that adds up, especially when we're going short track racing. But right now, the Ed Papineau at the top, 21.41. Farmer with a purple sector 2 as he parks at P4. Can Reinold improve? No, he's going to stay P2. Not going to improve. Let's see Bob Belshaw. He comes out. He's even quicker. The 44.21.35 for Bob Belshaw. Double 4, man. Look at that thing. Nice little shine on those numbers, too, man. He's ready to go. Showing off here tonight at the USA International Speedway. Top of the charts there for Mr. Belshaw. Oh, another guy I didn't know. I did not know he was in here, man. Chocolate milk, dude. You guys won't get that, but he runs the Nesquik car a lot whenever I used to broadcast for old Hollywood. His daughter, excellent basketball player. He might hide that from you guys. I won't let him. Lucy Olson, amazing women's basketball player. Keith Kincaid now at the top of the charts. He said, you want to keep it on Hollywood? I'll park this Cheetos machine on the pole. You just keep the attention off me. Keith Kincaid with a quick lap there at 21.29. And interesting here, too. I believe it's terrible. I should have done better homework, but I'm honest. I think this is a 75 lap feature. So 75 laps, you know, that's going to be such thing as tire wear. I don't know if we'll see guys maybe come down pit road at the halfway point if we get a caution, or when we get a caution. Like I say, I know the deal on that. We're going to get a couple of them here. I don't know when they're coming. And I'm only talking about it openly like that because I told you I don't want to hit the freaking live button at the end of the replay. So I'm trying to amp myself up here. Remember that I can do that as Michael Hugh marks that big P3. Glenn Stanley taking the final spot in the top 5. But you see green, a little more green. Can Glenn get quicker? He can. Up to P4 for the Cup man, Glenn Stanley. Every woman wants one of those Stanley Cups. You know, Glenn better be getting a piece of every one of those cups. So we're going to be rooting on that for Glenn. Now, we have seen every driver here has put in a qualifying time. And you see the checkered flag already waving. I don't know when they're actually going to advance it, but I'm not going to fast forward again like I did in that dirt race because I imagine they are going to cut this short. But Keith Kincaid, Bob Belshaw, Mike Lemieux, Glenn Stanley, and Ed Papineau, your top 5. So if Keith Kincaid doesn't start on the pole here, that's something else I probably should ask those guys, being honest. Didn't realize there was a top 6 invert in that dirt race. Kind of missed that. And we're going to have to try to pay a little bit better attention here. We'll see if they invert the field on the asphalt side of things as well. Okay, I lied. We are going to fast forward. We're going to bring up the iRacing one to do it. I'll just be a little quicker. I can go into super fast forward mode. I can't do that on my SDK. All right, so we have 18 cars. We should get to take a peek at all of them here. Let's do it. Okay, I lied. 17 cars because, of course, one of these guys is the admin. When are you going to learn that, Shaggy? When are you going to learn? Dave Brill on the inside of row 9 rounds out the field. Row 8 to the top shelf, the 31 of Dale Scott to the inside, the 33 of Hollywood, Roland Olson. Row 7 to the outside, the 42 of Gary Offit to the inside, the double deuce of Sean McLean. Row 6 to the outside, the 21 of Quinn McLean to the inside, the double nickel of Benjamin Gunter. Row 5 to the outside, the Farmer in the 54, Chris Farmer to the inside, the 68 of Robert Cassidy. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 71 of Chris Reinold to the inside, the 24 of Scott Tice. Row 3 to the outside, the 27 of Michael Lemanchik to the inside, the 01 of Ed Papineau. Row 2 to the outside, the 29 of Glenn Stanley to the inside, the 40 of Mike Lemieux. Row 1 for your 75-lap main event here at the USA International Speedway to the top shelf, the 44 of Bob Belshaw. And starting on the pole, the 17 of Keith Kincaid. Time to go dancing here. We got one more lap to go around the racetrack before we put the shoes on. Really lace them up tight. It's go time here. The USA International Speedway. Shame on me. I hate doing this. I really do. You have it. TV3 is not how I like my TV. Here we go. As Bob Belshaw gets ready to dance here. Final time through 3 and 4. We're going to watch that pace car dive off. There she goes. 75 laps to play as the green flag waves. We're underway. I want you to hear it that first lap, man. That's what it's all about. You get to hear these motors purr around here at the USA International Speedway, and this is something I'm serious. You know, they are going to get a couple cautions here, I would assume, but tire wear is going to be a big deal. You don't necessarily, want to burn up all this rubber here right away. If you keep Kincaid, you really need to pace yourself. You need to be smart about this thing because it is not going to be easy run quick laps for 75 laps around this place. See if we can find any battles on the track here starting to heat up. We're pretty much getting what we expect here. This opening 4, probably 5 laps should see lots of single file racing. Not really gonna beat the brakes off the guy beside you. A little too early to be missing fenders here as you see Hollywood running around here in the back. He's got a decent sized gap up the grill. And you get to Dave. Well, they the gaps get a little bit smaller until we find Benjamin Gunther looking back at Sean McLean. Pretty big gap to that, but Gunther running right behind Chris Reinold. Reinold had a lot of speed there in qualifying. Or, I mean, in warm-ups, not so much in qualifying. So, you know, based off practice time, he's going to be okay. And there you see the 27. He was blinking a little bit. That would have been a connection issue with Lemanchik. But it looked like it settled down. It wasn't that bad. So really shouldn't have affected the 71 there, but definitely not something you want to see. You know, if you're Chris, running off the tail end of him right now, that's not something you don't want a car disappearing. You can see he got on the brakes there pretty early. And, you know, I don't know how he focuses. He's got Barney painted all on the inside of that thing. I mean, there's just purple everywhere. Boy, oh boy, it's shiny too. You know, I always got a bat on my inside. It's not afraid. Little shine on there. Make it look good on the camera. That's what it's all about. Chris Reinold going to have to search his way through this field. Plenty of time to go here. Michael Lemanchik, he's going to start putting the pressure on Cassidy here. The 68 going to go to the outside. Cassidy, can he find a runoff? The answer is no. He flies up the hill, pushes a little bit, going to lose probably one more here as Reinold takes a peek underneath. 71 of Reinold going to get it done, and here comes the 55 of Gunther. And Benjamin manipulate his way around this 68, and whoa, what a bad couple laps here. The 68 of Cassidy, but he may be one of those guys. I told you, you think this thing's going to go green for a long time. You need rubber at it. You know, if a guy maybe makes a pit stop too late, you think you saved enough to stay out. Maybe tough to put a pass on here unless somebody's willing to use the nose. Not going to see too many passes get done, I wouldn't think. On the outside here, unless the person on the inside, I mean, it's just the tires are absolutely shot. They're getting pinched down. You would think that's where you want to be. You can kind of manipulate corner exit, make the guy on top feel a little uncomfortable. Get a little bit of Cheeto dust, you know, on the side of that 40 machine of Lemieux if Mike decides to pull it to the outside. Right now, just seeing single file racing here. Let's see here. Let's park it. Let's park it at the start finish line. Here comes your leader. Let's check out the gaps. So you see your top six, pretty close. I mean, you got them under a blanket. You got Lemanchik, all back to him. You see, I mean, pretty spread out. So this is what you're looking for in a long green flag run. You got to keep an eye out for this type of stuff, and that's where you're going to see some of the guys who, you know, we said, well, it was a bad couple laps there for Cassidy, but if we keep up this pace, he wasn't overdriving it those opening couple laps. Cassidy in that RD ran 68. Maybe one of the guys to really keep an eye on here. So, you know, gonna maybe lose one more. Dave Brill ducking that 88 to the inside, and you're seeing it. I mean, Cassidy just not willing to put up a fight right now. Little too early, and I think that's the smart move. Definitely don't want to get uncomfortable. You want to race this thing to your standard. As we go to the infield camera here, we'll watch it rotate around. We'll do a quick run through. Keith Kincaid still out front. Actually, maybe some of the guys. I'll do you guys a solid here. I'm going to send the SDK link as well to your guys' Discord, and what you'll do is you'll get into a test session or any iRacing session, but you have to be in the race car. You'll load up this software, and it will take your driver number. You can enter whatever you want. You can put little sponsors in that black box. You can do what Mike did. That's personally what I do. Got my hometown in there. Gettysburg, PA. You can see Mike Lemieux. That man's out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. So not killer far from me, and he got a lot of short track racing down there. So Mike Lemieux might be another one. Got it in his blood here. Ed Papnew running third. Bob Belshaw fourth. Fifth place, Scott Tice. Glenn Stanley running around in sixth. Michael Lemanchik back here in 7th. We got the 71 of Chris Reinhold. Benjamin Gunther in the 55. Dave Brill back here in the 8. That's going to round out the top 10. Then we got Sean McLean. Baxter, Minnesota. See, we got another guy filling it out. That's what we want. Bob Cassidy back here in 12th. Hollywood here in the 33. He actually just went by Cassidy, so moved Olson up to 12th. Quinn McLean back here in 14th. Chan Hassan, Minnesota. Oh, man, come on, get it together here, guy. Gary Offit running 15th. And Dale Scott right now running around 16th. But we've got 20 laps. Green flag so far. Great racing here, man. This is what you want to see. Guys racing hard, clean, letting the race come to them. I mean, we're seeing some. Oh, we may get our first caution here. Dave Brill on the inside of the front stretch. Not too sure what's going on. There is no caution flag just yet. Still rolling. Brill on the inside of the racetrack. This is interesting. I don't know what the story was there with Brill. Hopefully everything okay, but he's down low enough that we're not going to get a caution. We continue here. Your leader, Keith Kincaid, coming to lap 23. Almost a third of the way through the dance. This is Dale Scott in that 31 machine. The same number my dad ran when I was a little kid. My dad ran street stocks. Huge Dale Earnhardt fan, so he stole that same number from mine. Love seeing that 31, man. My dad. Gonna get him in with you guys eventually. Some of you know Tim Chapman. But, man, my grandmother, his mom, it has been a wild month, so he hasn't really been able to or had the time. And every time I'm out there, something's always going on. But we're gonna get him in here eventually. He would appreciate the heck out of that 31 number. Kincaid still pacing the field. You see Ed Belshaw. He started second, but he's hanging out right now in 4th. I don't know if I like what I'm seeing Belshaw do here. Now he goes back to the bottom in 3 and 4. But you could see him maybe pushing a little bit there in 1 and 2. And my gripe with that is you don't want to overdrive the center of the corner right there. You start sliding that race car up, you're going to start heating those right side tires up. And boy, oh boy, once you get them hot, it's hard to cool them back off. So, you know, the medicine for that is maybe drive in the corner a little slower so you can pick up throttle as early as you'd like to in the center. But man, as these tires age like a fine wine, it's not going to get any easier. You're going to have to be smart about this. As Dave Brill finally got that 88 back out there rolling. Not too sure what happened to that, but no caution needed as we continue to play here. Keith Kincaid deep in that lead at about a half a second. Ooh, what do we got on the gearbox here? I didn't even realize that, man. Not only does he's a risk taker, all right? Flaming hot Cheetos. They can prove flaming hot, you know. I mean, they'll get you. This guy, no wonder he's driving so fast. I mean, he won the last race. The man's mouth's probably on fire. You know, he's probably eating Cheetos while he's out here driving, flaming hot. And the man just needs a drink of water, so he's literally, it's life or death. You get this thing over with quick. Your mouth, you know, you burn to death here as he gets close here to Rob Cassidy. Cassidy going to lose a lap, and he's another one kind of pushing off corner exit. What that tells me is you're just driving into the entry a little too hard early on in the run. You just can't find that grip to stay with you. Mike Lemieux now feeling some pressure from the Pat. Ed Papineau trying to move that unsponsored 01 machine. I mean, somebody got to get that guy a sponsorship. Running around in the top 3. I mean, he can't be funding his own operation all season. It runs like this as Ed tries to work to the inside. Can't get there, but boy, he was close. We're going to go up top here. We're going to see if he can't get a run off of 2 this time. Not enough. As you see Eddie inches closer, you can tell he picks up the throttle a little earlier than that 40. He's making it up there through the center. That's when he can pick it back up. He's not sliding up the racetrack. That's what you want to see. That's somebody who's let the tires kind of hang out. You know, now I'm worried about with the new aero package. You know, you do want a little bit of air on that front end. Is it going to affect the car terribly? I'm not going to lie to you. No, it's not. But when you're not having air come down on the front of that nose, you can see the front end kind of raises up. Okay, go down the straightaway here. Well, when you get under braking, it sucks back down. If you don't have that draft on there, you don't have air pushing it down, it's not going to push as hard when you're drafting. You don't have that air bubble. It's like you're following somebody going down the highway. You stick your hand out the window and you don't really feel any pressure on you. It's the same thing. You want a little pressure on the front of that nose to kind of help the car rotate. If not, you know, you're doing it yourself with a little extra wheel crank. Yeah, you can get away with it 3, maybe 4 laps, but that's when you start to overheat the front tires and you get yourself into big trouble. Enjoy these long green flag runs, excuse me, when you get them, because I'll tell you, you're going to get spooled with these guys. Some dang good racers, man. You go other places, you ain't going to see a 38 lap green flag run. I mean, this is the stuff that you dream about. Keith Kincaid looking like, I told him not to spoil it. It's looking like we may get to talk to Keith twice here because right now this guy, he is just out of the ballpark. 1.7 seconds up the road. Good night here for the 17 of Keith Kincaid is Ed Papineau. He is trying to reel him in. I mean, he's developed a little bit of a gap here now between him and Mike Lemieux. You saw it took him a couple laps to get that pass done. When he did get it done, hasn't looked back, hasn't felt any pressure, just hasn't really been able to eat into that lead at all. If anything, you've seen it kind of extend a little slower. And we'll see here. This should work, like I say. Overlay problems, you never really know on update day, but let's see. See, it doesn't want to say the last lap. Or it only wants to say their last lap. So, dagnabbit, that stinks. I wish I could show you their current laps. And oh, you'll see, I'm not going to get a caution flag button either because it's a replay. So it'll be one where I have to manually do it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I saw it this time, so you'll watch. I'll be able to manually do it. But I'm telling you, there's a dang good chance in the future I change it to caution and forget to put it back to green or vice versa. Now, this is where we'll get a little bit fun. Like I say, I cannot click live like I normally like to do. So bear with me for the first couple weeks on this asphalt stuff. You see Tice there in the 24. It looks like we're thinking about making it 3 wide. He didn't know he had a little bit of company on the bottom. The 29, nothing he could do. Glenn Stanley going to get into the back of the 24 and get the car sideways. 3 and 4, that will be enough to bring the caution out. And Glenn Stanley looking like he's going to come down pit road. A couple guys coming down pit road here. Ed Papineau did. Stanley, let's see here. 3, 4. Tice, of course. Oh, no! Roughing each other up in pit road. That's Reinhold feeling the heat there in that 71. A little bit of contact you can see, though. They got their lap. I'm going to find you. There you are. It was Gary Offit getting his lap back. He's going to be that lucky dog there. Yeah, I knew I'd find you. It'll take me a little bit. Like I say, this software doesn't help you out as much. Play cautions. It's not necessarily as good of a friend as you'd like it to be. Now here, I don't mean to kind of crank it up on you guys either, but it will be kind of important that I stay in these trackside cameras and follow. Actually, follow the leader. Whoa, Keith Kincaid coming down pit road. What happened? He's coming down pit road later than everybody else, so he's going to lose spots to all those guys who come down pit road first. I mean, he's going to be behind Hollywood down here. Keith Kincaid looking like he's going to fall the whole way back to 11th. Jeez. Not what you want if you're Keith Kincaid. Oh, man. I'm telling you, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. We got something cooking. I don't mean to get quiet, you guys, but I got a message from another driver who said he would have loved to be in here. He's got a funeral to attend to, so obviously stuff comes up. But there's gonna be some spice going on here at the end. The pace car pulls off. Ooh, Gary off going around. Not too sure what's going on here, but we're back underway. Wild. Here, let's go up to the front. Now we do have a new leader, Ed Papineau. For the moment on the outside, Benjamin Gunther on the inside in the double nickel. Not going to put up a big fight here. Just going to pinch it off on the inside. The 24 now of Tice. He's got those fresh tires. He's going to take a peek here as he try to dance. 30 laps to go this time by. That's not a lot of time here. I'm telling you, it's not. You saw the green flag run they had in the beginning. This is not a lot of time to dance. If you want to make a move, you got to go. Here in the 55, got the fresh rubber. He's going to stick the nose to the inside, or the 24, excuse me. Stick the nose to the inside of the 55. Here comes Michael Lemanchik. He's going to get pulled around, and here comes Keith Kincaid. I thought I could write the Hot Cheeto man off, but here he goes, breathing fire. The Dragon roaring through the field. Keith Kincaid already back up to fourth as the yellow flag is going to fly. One more time, and this is where, to be perfectly honest with you, I went back to that first replay. SDK didn't like it. I'm not even getting updates of the race anymore. I will still give you as good of a show here as I can. That I promise you. We're going to rewind here. Go to the play. See, it's still green. See if we can pick something up here. There we go. So it's going to involve the 44. And I can't tell, is that the... 50-something. 54 of Chris Farmer. That's who that is. So Chris Farmer was a lap down, I believe, but got a little plunk there from the 44. I want to click live so bad to see if I can figure out this replay deal, but I know what's going to happen. So bear with me here. Let's go back up. This is our leader, Ed Papineau. We'll watch him find the pace car here. Saw that wreck, so we'll skip through this just a little bit. I want to get to where they will come down pit road if they're interested. Be this lap. Pit road is open. This is the interesting one here. Do we get any takers again? You wouldn't think so. I mean, he had a caution not too many laps ago. I think you're going to let it ride now. That's it. Yeah, that's what we'll see here. All those top guys stay out. They're committed now at this point. As the lights stay on the pace car, we'll go ahead. We'll get around to that last lap here when they get ready to go green. This is perfect. Ed Papino. Can he hold off Scott Dice here, Scott? So he's just kind of running there inside the top 5. Was the first caution after a little bit of contact, but now he finds himself brand new tires. Trying to work this thing in. Ed Papino pit as well on lap 41. So the green flag waves back underway. Can Pappy hold off the field here? Ed Papino on the bottom through 1 and 2 with a good run. Tice going to shut the door here. And now Kincaid got the Hot Cheetos machine. Big counter. Cuts underneath. Keith Kincaid battling for second. Hot Cheetos on the move. Oh, it looked. Oh, we got a big one. We got a big one. We got a big one, big one, big one. Here, entering one. Caution flag waves. Whoa. Let's rewind. Try to figure out what happened here. Like I say, I normally, if we do a live race, I get a big red button that says, hey, this guy wrecked. He's in trouble. I ain't getting it here. But you can see where this kind of starts off. So between Chris Reinold, and I believe that's Hollywood Olsen there in the 33 it is. Let's go up top. Maybe see what happens. So Olsen gets a shot in the right rear. Sends him down the racetrack. Gonna hook the 71. Nothing Olsen could do about that, and definitely nothing Reimold could do about that. Then Olsen tries to stay off him, cuts down. Another car coming though. And this is where we start to pile up on the inside. Big traffic jam here on I-81. This was, I mean, if you were in the back, let's see if the 54, I mean, he was already involved in one. Chris Farmer is a lap down, but I think he's the only guy behind this who gets through it without getting any damage whatsoever. That is definitely not the way you kind of want the field to mix it up here at the end, but that's just a product of, you know, guys trying to move. And you just try to give that guy a little shot ahead of you. Let's see Gary Hoffman. He's going to be the only one coming down pit road. And, you know, when you're just trying to progress through the field and go, you see the times out on the stopwatch. I mean, 20 laps to go is what we were when that happened. That's, do the math here, 20 seconds a lap. 3 in a minute, basically. Not a lot of race time. So you got 7 minutes left if we stay green. So you've gotta go. You don't really have time for a hiccup. You don't have to necessarily be perfect, but you gotta be smooth. I mean, the 17 showed you that. He has been smooth working his way up through the field, and that's why. I mean, you have a guy in front of you, doesn't hit that bottom. Well, you were smooth enough coming out of 4 the last time that you can dive it in there going into 1 when the guy makes a mistake. That's what it's about here. You just got to be ready for that mistake. If the guy makes it, you got to pounce. So we'll see as the lights are off on the pace car. We'll go back green next time by. Watch that pace car dive off in the Pappy. Ed Papino. What can he do here as he hits that loud pedal? We're back underway. Green flag waves. Whoa, Keith Kincaid with a monster start on the outside. And he's going to be able to get there. He has the run. Can he shut the door going down the backstretch? Keith, not just yet. Pappy on the inside, storming back like a bat out of hell. Side by side through 3 and 4. Papino knows he's got to make this move stick. Give it to Papineau at the line. Kincaid fighting back on the outside of 1 and 2, door to door. Papineau trying to make that thing eat downstairs. What can he do? Maybe gonna have to get some Cheeto dust on the right side of that thing. Does he move him up the racetrack? Gonna stay as low as he can using that yellow line to help rotate the car. And here comes Scott Tice. You put the top 3 under a blanket with 15 to play. Tice trying to work under Kincaid here for a second. Keith trying to shut the door. Little contact. Keith goes around. We're going to have another caution. Tice keeps rolling. Kincaid straightens it up, but the caution flag flies, and Keith Kincaid, we saw it happen live. Gets a little help there from Scott Tyson. We'll have to see. Let's go up top. You can see how quick it happens. I mean, definitely not intentional. You just drive it in there a little too deep. You can see the front end start to slide up the racetrack. And Keith's left rear gets a little bit of company here. Just gets moved around. 1, 2, just a couple taps, but we'll have to see. I want to stay here. Damage doesn't look too bad. Now, Keith, you probably want to go down pit road here, I would assume. Fast forward this to see here, because normally we would have jumped. No, he's not even going to go down pit road, does he? Okay, that for me is kind of a head scratcher. Maybe they only get 1 set of tires. It's actually tire limit. I thought it would say right here. Maybe it won't show the tire limit in iRacing info. So there very well could be a tire limit, so it might, be a run what you run situation kind of stuck here. Still says it's the 0 with caution. Figured I'd mess with this button, but yeah, that's something like I've explained so many times. Your boy here, not a coder at all. I will probably never get that fixed. And that's why I like to go cheaper than the other guys. I have fun while I do this. Definitely the graphics could be a little better. So we roll through 1 and 2, excuse me. You see those lights are off on the pace car. So we'll go back racing this time. Have a 10-lap shootout. Have to see if the boys behave, if we stay green, or what's going to happen here. As we get ready to close out, we'll go up to the starter stand. We see the green flag high. It's ready to fly. Ed with a good jump on the inside, one of his better restarts to be able to shut the door right away. Is Tice going to fall in line? Doesn't want to get shuffled up on that outside. Scott Tice, after the contact, able to stay in P2. Can he get one more here? We'll have to keep an eye out on Keith Kincaid. Quick race car, but he did a little bit of an extra loop here. Gonna add some wear to the tires. Only 9 laps to dance here. Gonna think about taking a peek under Hollywood. Little contact in front, the 55. Turns the 44. Then gets into the 29. Well, that's where Keith Kincaid, he gets a lot of those spots back, and boy, oh boy, we're under caution again here as the glove's staying off. We're still scrambling here, going down the backstretch, making contact. We saw where it kind of kicked off. You can see the 55, maybe push up the hill a little bit, get into the back of the 44. Let's see here. See the 55. He does come up a little bit. 44 maybe coming down a little bit, but didn't want to be that high on exit. See the contact ensues from there. Hollywood nowhere to go. He's the mouse stuck in the trap there on the outside. He then gets punched down on the inside. They are going everywhere. The only one who made it through safe there, Keith Kincaid. You see the 21 come back up hard into the wall. 54 then get into the 55. I mean, contact all over the racetrack here. Go back up front here with Ed Papineau. We'll get up to the back of the field here. Shouldn't see anybody come down pit road. This would be the pit lap. No one coming down pit road. Interesting. Ed Popino, our leader. Scott Tice second. Michael Lemanchik third. Chris Reinold fourth. Mike Lemieux rounding out the top five. Gunther in the double nickel sixth. Kincaid seventh. McLean eighth. Roland Olson ninth. And Belshaw rounding out the top 10 at the moment. Still time for that to change. Not that we wanted to, not that I'm wishing any bad luck on anybody, but man, you know the old adage, cautions breed cautions. We have seen it get a little bit rough here to close out, so you never know what's in store for us. This is why I'll load up those replays previous. I really do want it to be a surprise to me. I have no idea who is going to finish where, how close the finish is. I knew the dirt race was going to be a close finish. It does give you the finish distance if you look too quick, or if you know, or I mean, look too long. If you don't look quick enough. I saw that it was going to be close. This one, no idea who's going to bring it home. I know this is the last time through 3 and 4 under caution before we drop that hammer and go back and play. We'll have four laps to go here at the USA International Speedway. Green flag waves. Oh, a little bit of contact there, and Lemanchik, he gets moved down to the inside in that 27. Now he's got Kincaid behind him trying to pounce here. The 55 going to lose another one. Gunther, who's involved in that last caution. We saw him push up the racetrack. You know he's struggling. He's pushing up the racetrack once again. Just doesn't have any grip left in those that front tires. 55 trying to hold off the field here, but man, that race car just not handling to his liking, and we're rolling into 3 and 4. We're going to see popsicle sticks in the air this time by 2 laps to go for Ed Papino. Ed rolling the center here through 1 and 2. He's got Tice behind him, Reinold in third. Can he find a way to bring it up here? Can Tice get the win that eluded him in the dirt late model race? Doesn't look like it here, as we're going to see that white flag wave. 1 lap to go for Ed Papino. Rolls the bottom through 1 and 2. Just trying to get it to stick down there. Doesn't need to go super fast. You just want to glue it to the bottom. Ed Papino, final time through 3 and 4. He's going to see that checkered flag wave. Reach up and grab it, Ed. He brings it home here at the USA International Speedway. Scott Tice, P2. Chris Reinold, P3. Mike Lemieux, 4th. And Michael Lemanchik rounds out the top 5. But Ed Papino to win the first race here for my broadcasting on the asphalt side. Like I said on the dirt, no idea what happened first. But that's what matters to me, Ed Papino. I told you, get a sponsor on that dang thing. Send him some Budweiser. Man's going to park in victory lane. Huge win for the driver of the 01. Ed Papino. And now this is where, shame on me, but unless I did a bunch of rewinding, I won't be able to give us that final run to the finish like I normally like to do. We'll do these here from the beginning. You'll kind of see where these drivers had started, and we know it was an eventful race here for the driver of the 71, Chris Reinold. I mean, it was rough in the beginning. Definitely not what he envisioned. I mean, he had to drive his way back up through the field, but he did that, parked it on the podium. And now we get to talk to him here. He's going to be the only driver, unless somebody shows up, because we still have Keith Kincaid in the waiting room, but he didn't finish in the top 3. We talked to him after the late model, but now we'll get to bring up Chris here, and quite the eventful race here, Chris. I know I've made you guys wait a while, but you still here, man? You got a copy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Well, dude, this was definitely, to say the least, uneventful race for you, man. You kind of get involved in an accident, nothing of your doing. You have to drive it back to the front, and not easy to do at USA, man. How'd you do it? Just patience, or was it maybe a little more being aggressive? What was your style tonight?
Well, at first I was being aggressive. I was kind of racing it like a lobby race, and then realized that the front end was starting to push a little bit, and decided to kind of lay off a little bit. And then at the end there, like, I mean, I got to apologize to Lemanchik. When I looked up in my mirror, I could see his full front end, and I went down to protect the bottom to get to the bottom, and ended up clipping his right front.
Yeah, but you know the deal, man. Hey, the final 10 laps to go, pay windows open. You know, people gonna
Yeah,
fight.
well, you know what? To be honest with you, I wasn't. I come into this race with no expectations. I'm a dirt guy, so I was gonna just try and run the race, and if I finished in 8th or 9th, it is what it is. But to get up into the top 3, I was like, wow, I can't believe that just happened.
Well, you know, one dirt guy to another here, Chris. Do we mess around with the brake bias at all while we're driving this thing?
For sure. Actually, to be honest with you, I stopped racing back in 2017 on iRacing, and then I just come back this January. Bought a new sim rig and everything, and new steering wheel and pedals, and started at it. And before I never really had a means of screwing around with the brake bias, and then about a month ago, I started screwing around with it, and it's working to my advantage, really.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's one thing I gotten to, you know, seep some knowledge out of people running asphalt stuff, and it has helped me so much. Because, like I say, I am a hardcore dirt guy, and I'm in central Pennsylvania, so I'm close to Williams Grove, Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
I love dirt racing, but this asphalt stuff, it's definitely a little tricky. And for those guys listening, the reason I asked him, I definitely want everybody to kind of know, dial a little more rear brake in that thing as it starts to
Oh yeah.
help
Yeah.
rotate the car, and man, you'd be it works wonders. And you know, Chris, and another thing you mentioned, you're a dirt guy. Do we play with? Do you stay in the throttle, or do you come completely out of it?
Uh, it really all depends. It depends on what the car's doing. If I'm getting a shove, I'm lifting early. Like, I had to, over the course of that race, probably about 4 times I had to adjust my entry of where I was coming off the throttle. But I wasn't fully coming off. I was only coming off about halfway. But I was going, the caution signal on the wall there. I was at first going, I wasn't letting off until way after that. I was at the end of the race, I was letting off like basically right at the light.
Yeah, that was, well, you're already ahead of the learning curve, because I'll tell you what, that was something that never clicked with me on this asphalt side. I would roll completely out of the throttle for years and have that thing at 0% throttle. And I didn't learn until talking to some good guys, man. You do that, it upsets the balance of the race car too much. And then, you know, you're working the right front tire. So there's definitely a lot of fun tricks to these things.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised at how racy the late model stocks are, because they're kind of like, I mean, you got the super late model, which is the full-blown race car, and usually the class down from it is usually kind of like, say, the dirt pro late model. They're not they're not the full power and everything, and usually it's hard to pass in them. Where these here, they're not like that at all. Like these are just as racy as the super lates.
No, and especially when you make adjustments like you said you did on the fly. You know, you kind of quit overdriving that race car like you were in the beginning. You let the other guys do that, and man, you start building up a lot more momentum when you can pick up the throttle earlier than them. And Chris, that's exactly what you did. Drove that 71 up through the field, man, to park it on the podium. Hell of a run, brother. Who you want to thank?
Thank you. Really, you know, I want to thank the MRL and all the guys at Senex for putting this on, because, like, I mean, this is racing. The lobbies, that's not the deal anymore. And you know, when you get these guys putting it out for us, especially us old guys, like, I mean, we don't have the reaction times of the 20-year-olds, you know, so, you know, it kind of makes it a level playing field.
Well, my apologies. Now, my dog didn't bark that whole time. Let me yell at him real quick.
I did too.
Yeah, I forgot to mute myself through Discord. But oh, okay, he's just gonna bark again. Well, at least it's at the end. But hey, Chris, before I kick you out of here, man, I'm gonna send you guys all the SDK stuff so you can fill it out. But I'm interested,
Sure.
man. Where are you from?
I'm from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
Let me unmute myself on the broadcast again. Sorry, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Okay, so we got man, all sorts of. I love this, dude. We got Canadians racing together.
What's that?
Oh, I said it. We got the whole North America racing together here. Then if we could get some people from Mexico, I'm in plenty of leagues where they do that, and it is neat, man. You get that wide range, and you get to kind of develop friendships that you wouldn't have otherwise. So it is neat.
Oh yeah. I've met
forward-
up with a bunch of guys that I've sim raced with at various tracks all over the place.
Yeah, dude, that is, man, what iRacing does. I've got to meet so many people through that. It is interesting. And Chris, I can't wait to learn more about you here throughout the season. With the way you drove this thing up after getting spun out, I think you're going to be a fixture on this podium, man. You look fast. The more confidence you get throughout the season, the better you'll get. Hell of a run tonight, man. Can't wait to talk to you again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's Chris Reinold bringing home P3. And now we'll see. I should be able to do this because, well, I have a terrible memory. Pull this up. Let's see. Can I bring the race results? I have to go to live, and I may have to do this. And of course, that won't want to kick off the screen here. There we go. Go to results. Race. Show. Come on. There we go. I just had to trick it. There we go. So we get to see Ed Papineau. He won half a second over Scott Tice. Good night for Scott Tice. 2 P2s. Reinhold, the man we just heard, the 71, rounding out the podium. Lemieux 4th. Lemanchik 5th. Kincaid 6th. Roland Olson 7th. Quinn McLean 8th. Belshaw 9th. Gunther rounding out the top 10. I remembered that. I can't just say McLean. We got 2 McLeans here. Gary Offit coming home 11th. Chris Farmer 12th. Rob Cassidy 13th. Dale Scott 14th. Dave Brill rounding out the top 15. And Glenn Stanley and Sean McLean round out the field. But hey, we're going to be doing this. We're going to try to aim for every Saturday. Some of them might be some Sunday mornings if the wife calls me into some things on Saturday. So we'll kind of play that by ear. But make sure you hit that like button. You hit that subscribe button on that Senex channel. If you want to, you can go over there and do it on Shaggy TV as well. You can always use the more subscribers, and we'll try to bring you the best show here every weekend. But on behalf of everyone at the Senex Short Track Series, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I'd like to say, have a good rest of your Saturday afternoon. Take it easy.